Hey everyone, how's it going? Matthew Bailey here, and welcome to another 2022 movie review. And yes, it's here, the moment you've been waiting for. This is my review of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Yep, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 just came out on a Thursday night, which is when this video is being recorded. Anyways, let's get into it. So, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 basically is a movie that picks up right where the first movie left off, where we see Dr. Eggman, Robotnik, stranded on the Mushroom Planet, and he manages to find his way back with the help of Knuckles the Echidna, and together they team up against Sonic and his newfound friend, Tails, who we did see in the mid-credit scene of the first movie. And they have to go on this quest together to try to protect a certain object from the Sonic lore, from Robotnik and Knuckles, even though Knuckles isn't too much of a bad guy. However, I will say the guy who voices him, Idris Elba, he cracked me up as his portrayal of Knuckles. And they did get someone who apparently voiced the character in the games to come back and voice a character, being Colleen O'Shaughnessy, who voices Tails in the movie, but she also voiced the character in all the games, the TV shows, everything. So that was kind of cool that they got at least one person to come back to voice their character from the games and stuff. But anyways, I have to admit, this movie, I actually feel like this movie did better than the first one. Because to be fair, the first movie was really just a road trip kind of film that saw James Marsden as Tom Wachowski taking Sonic on a road trip to try to get his rings, and along the way and on the journey he ends up clashing with Robotnik, and played by the classic Jim Carrey, who really steps it up in this movie. I tell you, Jim Carrey as Robotnik in this movie, times double that amount of acting that he did from the first movie. But I just love the way this movie portrayed. And there's only one mid-credit scene though, near the end of the movie, and it definitely confirms that there's going to be a Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Not sure when they're going to release it. Best case scenario is probably going to be 2024, because so far it seems like it's followed a 2-year gap. Even with this also, ironically, this movie also, because it's the sequel to a movie that came out, ironically, a month before the so-called worldwide pandemic that we received 2 years ago, it still managed to do well. And with the way the movie did this tonight after I got off of work, literally, right before I got off of work, the very first showing we had, the 3 o'clock showing, had over 145 people in it. That tells you this movie may end up doing better than the first movie did on the opening weekend, for sure. The first movie made $58 million. This movie, I hear, is projected to make $65 million. That's $7 million more than the first movie did, which tells you it's going to do better. And again, this time it's during the so-called pandemic. But I don't want to talk about that too much. Anyways, I highly recommend going to check this movie if you are a fan of the Sonic games and have played them. I haven't played them, but I'm a really big fan of these films. They really are starting to get me into the Sonic universe, and I really love Jim Carrey's portrayal as Robotnik, and again, Idris Elba as Knuckles, hilarious. I cannot believe he did such a good job portraying the character in this movie. And like I said, it's a highly must-see movie, especially during the end of the spring break weekend. And holy crap, if you want to find some movie to take your kids to see this year, definitely go see Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Anyways, let me give you my rating of the movie. So, as I said before, this movie was amazing. It was a blast. It was definitely better than the first one, in my opinion. Even though the movie did have a 2-hour runtime, which is like 20 minutes longer than the first movie, I think that was a necessary move on their part. And I'm going to have to give this movie a 4.5 out of 5. Yep, you heard me correctly. 4.5. I think I gave the first movie a 4 out of 5 because I did like it, but I gotta admit this one really stepped it up, and that's why it gets the next half of a star more than the first movie did. So anyways, that's all for now in this movie review. The next movie I'll probably be reviewing is Fantastic Beasts 3: The Secrets of Dumbledore next weekend, so keep an eye out for that review. And anyways, I will see all you guys in the next video.